Have you ever emerged from an interaction feeling inexplicably depleted? Not of money or physical energy, but of something far more precious, your very creative force, your divine consciousness itself. In this eternal moment, we must confront a profound truth that Neville Goddard consistently emphasized. Your imagination is the very God force individualized within you, not merely a faculty for idle daydreaming. Keep thy heart with all diligence, the scripture warns, for out of it are the issues of life. This is not mere poetic language, but a fundamental law of being. The greatest battles you face are waged in the silent chambers of your consciousness, where you choose whose states to entertain and whose consciousness to enter. These energy vampires, as we might call them, rarely announce themselves with dramatic gestures. They manifest as persistent voices demanding your attention, pulling you into states of worry, insisting you abandon your highest vision for their limited perspective. They come bearing masks of friendship and well-meaning advice, but their impact on your creative consciousness far exceeds any material loss. But understand this crucial truth: these people are not external to you. As Neville taught, the world is yourself pushed out. Every draining interaction is actually a state of consciousness made flesh, reflecting aspects of your own being that require revision. Your imagination is the holy of holies within you, the sacred temple where the I Am presence dwells. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? This is not metaphor, but literal truth. The solution lies not in fighting against these influences, but in rising to your true identity as God individualized. Those who truly understand their value never demand more than you can give, for they recognize that true relationship is an exchange of divine energy, a mutual elevation of consciousness. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Let this be your constant reminder. Your imagination is the only creative power in your world. Guard it as you would the most precious jewel, for in doing so, you preserve your divine creative essence. The choice of where to place your attention is always yours. Choose wisely, for in these choices lies the difference between living as a victim of circumstances and standing in your true power as a conscious creator of your reality. Let us speak of something so fundamental to your being that most overlook its profound significance: your state of consciousness. Your entire world, every circumstance, every relationship, every moment of joy or sorrow springs from this state. I and my Father are one is not merely a biblical quote, but the very foundation of your being, waiting to be claimed in the depths of your understanding. These influences that would lower your consciousness arrive subtly, wrapped in the gentle persuasion of what the world calls common sense or being realistic. They speak of limitation as though it were wisdom, of doubt as though it were prudence, of fear as though it were preparation. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, the scripture tells us. Yet how readily we allow others to transform us into lesser versions of ourselves. The maintenance of your spiritual state, your consciousness of being God individualized, is the natural expression of understanding who you really are. When you truly grasp that consciousness is the only reality, you begin to guard your spiritual state with the vigilance it deserves. Those who would pull you into states of worry, doubt, or fear are actually inviting you to abandon your divine heritage, to step down from your throne of creation into the realm of effects rather than causes. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This protection exists only in the highest state of consciousness, where you know yourself as the operant power, the I am presence individualized. What appears as external pressure is always an invitation to choose again, to reaffirm your true identity. Every moment you maintain your highest spiritual state, despite outer appearances, is a moment of true power, of genuine creation. Choose you this day whom ye will serve, but understand that this choice is made moment by moment, in the quiet sanctuary of your consciousness. Each worry entertained, each doubt indulged, each fear embraced is a moment of creating from that limited consciousness. The choice of which state to occupy is always yours, and in that choice lies all the power of creation. Let your constant practice be maintaining your highest spiritual state, through the calm, knowing that you are the God power individualized. Stand firm, not in resistance or conflict, but in the serene awareness of your true identity. For in protecting your spiritual state, you maintain the very consciousness from which all your good must flow. Let us delve into the subtle art of recognizing and transcending mental manipulation. Be not conformed to this world, the Scripture advises, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This transformation requires a vigilance few understand, and even fewer practice. Mental manipulation manifests wearing the gentle mask of concern, draped in the familiar robes of friendship, family, and love. These influences approach not with direct assault on your spiritual understanding, but with subtle suggestions that slowly chip away at your divine self-concept. They whisper of limitation as though it were wisdom, of doubt as though it were prudence, of fear as though it were love. The collective consciousness, what Neville termed the mass hypnosis of man, operates through these subtle manipulations, seeking to pull you back into its limited understanding. It attempts to convince you that your spiritual power is mere fantasy, that your divine nature is hubris. I and my Father are one is not merely a statement to be repeated, but a state to be maintained despite all opposing evidence. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? This is not metaphor, but literal truth. The maintenance of your spiritual sovereignty requires not resistance or conflict, but a calm and unwavering awareness of your true identity. Every attempt to manipulate your consciousness becomes an opportunity to reaffirm your divine nature. As you move through your days, be vigilant of the subtle ways you might be tempted to abandon your highest understanding. Choose you this day whom ye will serve, understanding that this choice is made moment by moment, in the quiet sanctuary of your consciousness. When others would manipulate your consciousness, their ability to do so exists only in your acceptance of their suggestion. Remember, the greatest manipulation is not the obvious assault on your beliefs, but the subtle erosion of your divine self-concept. Guard it as you would the most precious jewel, for in maintaining your spiritual sovereignty, you maintain your creative power, your divine heritage, your very connection to the infinite. Let us explore the most precious gift bestowed upon you, your divine vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish, speaks not merely of mundane planning, but of that sacred inner sight through which God dreams through you. Your imaginal acts, those moments when you dare to dream in the face of current circumstances, are not mere fantasies. They are prophecies written in the substance of consciousness itself. The world often attempts to dim your vision, pulling you from your divine dreaming into what it calls reality. These influences do not come as obvious adversaries, but as well-meaning voices of reason, practicality, and common sense. They speak of limitation as though it were wisdom, of doubt as though it were maturity, and of fear as though it were preparation. Yet, every vision that burns within you is God seeking expression through you. I am the Lord that healeth thee speaks of the divine power within you that knows the end from the beginning. Maintaining your divine vision requires a discipline few understand, the discipline of your mental diet. Just as you would not consume poison for your physical body, you must be vigilant about what you allow into your mental sphere. Those who question your vision or inject doubt into your knowing invite you to abandon your prophetic stance. Their influence can dim the light of your inner knowing. These doubters have no power except that which you give them through your attention. When someone attempts to diminish your vision, they can succeed only to the degree that you accept their suggestion. All things are possible to him that believeth is not merely scripture to be quoted, but a law to be lived. Your divine vision is not subject to committee approval or external validation. It springs from the deepest part of you where you and the Father are one. Those who understand the law of consciousness will never seek to diminish your vision. Each soul must be true to its own divine promptings, and each vision is sacred, personal, and direct from the heart of God. As you move through your days, protect your vision with the calm knowing that what you have seen in consciousness must manifest in experience. Each doubt entertained, each limitation accepted, and each fear embraced is a moment of creating from that consciousness. The choice of which vision to nurture is always yours. This day I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, understanding that this choice is made moment by moment in the quiet sanctuary of your imagination. Let your practice be to maintain your divine vision through the serene knowing that what you have seen in consciousness is more real than any current circumstance. When others question your vision, remember that their ability to influence you exists only in your acceptance of their doubt. Stand firm, not in argument or defense, but in the quiet conviction of your inner knowing. In protecting your divine vision, you are not merely preserving a dream. You are maintaining the very consciousness from which all creation flows. The world will present evidence against your vision, but in each moment of maintaining your faith, despite appearances, you demonstrate the power that has been yours all along. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This is not mere poetry, but the very science of creation. The greatest threat to your vision is not external opposition, but the internal acceptance of doubt. Guard your mental diet as you would the most precious treasure, for in maintaining your divine vision, you uphold your creative power, your prophetic stance, and your connection to the infinite. The world will test your resolve, but in each moment of standing firm in your chosen vision, you affirm the truth that has been yours from the beginning. You are the power. You are the prophet. You are the divine dreamer through whom God dreams. Let us explore the sacred truth of your divine identity as God individualized. I am that I am is not merely a biblical phrase to be revered. It encapsulates the essence of your being, the eternal truth of who you are. When Moses asked for God's name, he received not a label, but a state of consciousness, the pure awareness of being that defines your true identity. The world often attempts to impose lesser identities upon you, subtly suggesting that you are anything less than the God power individualized. These suggestions manifest as reasonable limitations and practical boundaries. They may frame humility as self-denial and modesty as the rejection of your divine nature. However, true humility recognizes that this same divinity exists in all. Preserving your God self requires a vigilance that few understand. The constant recognition of your true identity, regardless of appearances. Those who deny your divine nature invite you to participate in their limited state of consciousness. They may present their influence as wisdom or protection, but it can only serve to dim the light of your divine awareness. These voices, doubts, and seemingly external forces hold no power except that which you grant them through your acceptance. When someone attempts to alter your self-concept, they can succeed only to the degree that you accept their suggestion. I and my Father are one is not merely a statement to be repeated. It is an identity to be maintained. Your divine identity is not subject to external validation or worldly approval. It springs from the deepest part of you, where you and the Absolute are one. Those who truly understand this truth will never seek to diminish your self-concept. They recognize that each soul is God individualized, and each consciousness is sacred and direct from the heart of the infinite. As you navigate your days, maintain your divine identity not through struggle or effort, but through the calm knowing that you are the God power expressing. Each doubt entertained, each limitation accepted, and each lesser identity embraced is a moment of creating from that consciousness. The choice of which identity to assume is always yours. Choose you this day whom ye will serve, understanding that this choice is made moment by moment in the quiet sanctuary of your consciousness. Let your practice be to uphold your God self, not through assertion or defense, but through the serene knowing that you are the operant power, the divine awareness through which all things come into being. When others question your divine nature, remember that their ability to influence you exists only in your acceptance of their doubt. Stand firm, not in argument, but in the quiet conviction of your true identity. In preserving your divine identity, you honor the very truth of your being. The world will present evidence against your divinity, but in each moment of maintaining your divine self-concept, despite appearances, you demonstrate the power that has been yours all along. Know ye not that ye are gods? This is not metaphor, but the most literal truth. The greatest threat to your divine identity is not external opposition, but the internal acceptance of limitation. Guard your self-concept as you would a precious treasure, for in maintaining your God self, you uphold your creative power, your divine heritage, and your connection to the infinite. The world will test your resolve, but in each moment of standing firm in your divine identity, you affirm the truth that has been yours from the beginning. You are not becoming God. You are God becoming aware of yourself. Let us explore a vital aspect of your spiritual journey, the company you keep along the path to divine realization. Come out from among them, and be ye separate, speaks not of physical isolation, but of the necessity to surround yourself with those who understand and support your spiritual awakening. The impact of your spiritual associations is profound. Just as a seed requires proper soil to flourish, your consciousness needs an environment conducive to its divine potential. Those who truly understand the law of consciousness create an atmosphere where your highest spiritual understanding can thrive. They recognize the God in you because they have recognized it in themselves. Conversely, there are associations that can pull you back into the sleep of mortality, convincing you that your spiritual understanding is mere fantasy and your divine nature a delusion. These influences often come not with overt opposition, but with subtle doubt, practical concerns, and what they term reasonable perspectives. They frame limitation as wisdom, doubt as maturity, and fear as love. These associations hold no power except that which you grant them through your attention and acceptance. When someone attempts to diminish your spiritual understanding, they can succeed only to the degree that you allow their state to influence yours. I have chosen you out of the world speaks to the importance of consciousness over physical separation. Your spiritual associations should reflect and support your highest understanding. Those who comprehend the law will never seek to pull you from your divine awareness. They recognize that each soul must be true to its own inner promptings, and that each consciousness is sacred and direct from the heart of God. These companions fan the flames of your spiritual awareness, reminding you of your divine nature when the world would have you forget. As you navigate your days, evaluate your associations with wisdom rather than judgment. Each relationship either elevates or diminishes your spiritual consciousness. The choice of which associations to maintain is always yours. With whom take ye counsel is not merely a question, but a vital spiritual practice. Maintain spiritual associations that enhance your divine consciousness. When others attempt to pull you into lesser states, remember that their ability to influence you exists only in your acceptance of their consciousness. Stand firm not in rejection or conflict, but in the quiet knowing of what serves your highest good. By choosing your spiritual associations wisely, you are creating the atmosphere in which your divine nature can flourish. The world will present opportunities for lesser associations, but in each moment of choosing those who support your highest understanding, you demonstrate the wisdom that has always been yours. The greatest threat to your spiritual growth is not obvious opposition, but subtle compromise through association. Guard your spiritual environment as you would protect a precious treasure, for in maintaining elevated associations, you uphold the very consciousness from which all your good must flow. The world will offer many options for companionship, but in each moment of choosing those who understand and support your divine nature, you create a sacred circle within which your spiritual understanding can thrive. Let your associations be selective, not from pride or judgment, but from the calm knowing that you are shaping the atmosphere of your spiritual unfoldment. Surrounding yourself with those who understand and support your highest consciousness creates a sacred circle of spiritual companionship that reflects and enhances your own divine awareness. If these truths resonate within you, I invite you to share your journey in the comments below. Your experiences and moments of spiritual awakening are not merely personal victories. They serve as beacons of light for others on this path. Consider joining our spiritual family by subscribing, as this exploration of divine consciousness is ever unfolding. Each day brings new opportunities to deepen your understanding, strengthen your spiritual practice, and manifest more fully from your God self. Until we meet again in consciousness, maintain your highest spiritual understanding, live boldly from your chosen state, and never accept less than the divine life you were created to express. For you are not becoming, You are the very power of God, individualized, here and now. I am that I am,